Today I'm going to be looking at Urpuleague Shelter Senator. The houses it contains are Logos, Star Alliance, and Shadows. To begin with, let's look at the cards in this deck. First we have Walls Blaster. This creature gains Fight, Reap. You may deal 2 damage to a creature or attach Walls Blaster to Chief Engineer Walls. After you attach Walls Blaster to Chief Engineer Walls, stun a creature for each upgrade on Chief Engineer Walls. So this is an upgrade, and it gives you 1 amber when you play it. Next we have Zap. This is play, deal 1 damage to a creature for each house represented among creatures in play. So assuming that you don't have any matching houses, you could deal up to 6 damage with this. And it gives you 1 amber when you do play it. Next we have Medic Ingram. This is play, fight, reap. You may heal 3 damage from a creature and ward it. This is a great support card. When you play it, you can go and heal 3 damage from a creature and ward it, and also whenever it fights and reaps. Ideally, you'll probably be reaping with it. Next, there are 3 Lieutenant Kirkers. This creature has Taunt and Hazardous 3, so whenever it's attacked, it's going to deal 3 damage back. It's a 5 power creature. Like I said, there are 3 of them, so here's the other 2. Next we have Commander Chan. This is Fight Reap, use another friendly creature. Next we have Comm Officer Kirby. Play, fight, reap. You may play a non-Star Alliance artifact, upgrade, or action card this turn. There are 2 of those in the deck. Then we have a Cloaking Dongle. Gives you 1 amber, and this creature and each of its neighbors gains elusive. Then we have Chief Engineer Walls. He has elusive, and play, fight, reap. You may return an upgrade or robot card from your discard pile to your hand. Then we have Arms Master Melina. Hazardous 3. Each of Arms Master Melina's neighbors also gains Hazardous 3. So also a great defensive card. And that brings us to the end of the Star Alliance. Next we have Shadows. Beginning we have Scally Caper. This creature is a 2 power creature, has Skirmish. Scally Caper enters play under your opponent's control and can be used as if it belonged to any house. At the end of your turn, destroy 1 of Scally Caper's neighbors. So you're going to play this card, it's going to go in your opponent's line, and then it's going to go and destroy 1 of Scally Caper's neighbors. So it'll be up to them which one it destroys, but you're going to slowly destroy their line, and they're not going to really have a way to get rid of it unless they sacrifice it, mainly because that's Skirmish, they can't just run it back into your line. Next we have Too Much to Protect. You'll get 1 amber, but then if your opponent has more than 6 amber, when you play it, you'll steal all but 6 of your opponent's amber. Then we have an artifact, Spike Trap. This is an Omni, and it's sacrifice Spike Trap. If you do, deal 3 damage to each flank creature. Now this does a lot of damage, but it does it to your own creatures as well. Then we have Pestering Blow, which is an action, and it's play, deal 1 damage to a creature, and enrage it. It also gives you 1 amber when you play it. Then we have Mug. Move 1 amber from a creature to your pool, deal 2 damage to that creature. Gives you 1 amber when you play it, and you're going to go and move one amber around. So like if they had captured 1 amber, you could move it to another creature. Or if you had a creature that had benefits of having an amber on it, you could also move it around that way. There's 2 of these cards. We have the Kymor Eclipse. This is play, shuffle each flank creature into its owner's deck. Now, if this plays the way I think it does, it's a great way of getting rid of any creatures that have destroyed abilities that you don't want to have happen, because they'll end up just shuffling straight into the deck. They don't actually get destroyed. I wasn't able to actually find anything on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it'll end up playing out. Next we have J Vinda. It's a 2 power creature. It has elusive, and its reap ability is deal 1 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, steal 1 amber. Next we have an action, Hawk. It says play, destroy an artifact. If you do, gain 1 amber. And you also get 1 amber just for playing it. Next we have Hit and Run. This is deal 2 damage to a creature, return a friendly creature to your hand. So you'll deal 2 damage to some creature, and then you can return a creature to your hand, which is kind of nice. Then we have the creature Bad Penny. 1 power, destroyed, return Bad Penny to your hand. And then we have Avinda. 4 power creature. Has a reap ability of deal 1 damage to a creature. If this damage destroys that creature, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Now we're into logos. First we have an artifact, Universal Recycle Bin. It gives you an amber when you play it, and then it has an action, archive a purged card you own. So if you end up with a, getting cards purged, which won't happen in this deck it appears, but if your opponent does it, then you can go and use this card to get those cards back one at a time. Next we have the artifact, Scientifical Hack, which is an Omni ability. Sacrifice Scientifical Hack. For the remainder of the turn, you may use friendly artifacts as if they belong to the active house. So that means that on turns that aren't logos, you could be using all these logos artifacts. Next we have the creature Code Monkey. It's a 3 power creature, and it has deploy, which means you can put it anywhere in your battle line. And it has a play ability of archive each neighboring creature. If those creatures share a house, gain 2 amber. So, if we wanted to go and get back some of our Star Alliance or Shadows creatures, we could go and play this in between them, and then we also get 2 amber in addition to throwing them into the archives. Next we get an artifact of Anomaly Exploiter. And this card has an action of destroy a damaged creature. And then we have the action, gets 1 amber, Twin Bolt Emission, deal 2 damage to a creature, and deal 2 damage to a different creature. Now as long as there's 2 creatures out there of your opponents to damage, that works really well. However, if you have one of your creatures out there and only one of theirs, you'll end up dealing damage to your own. Next we have the Titan Guardian, which has 5 power and 1 shield. It has Taunt, and the destroyed ability of if Titan Guardian is not on a flank, draw 2 cards. Which hopefully, since it has Taunt, it's going to have creatures on both sides of it. Next we have 2 of the action Tau Tau Vapors. Draw 2 cards, archive a card. Then we have the creature Sanitation Engineer. Has Hazardous 1, Power 4, and it has a reap ability of discard a card from your hand, which would allow you to get rid of non-logos cards on a logos turn. Then we have the creature Quant. It's a 3 power creature, and it has the reap ability of you may play 1 non-logos action card this turn. And then we have the artifact Hologramophone. It gives you 1 amber when you play it, and then you have an action ward a creature. And then finally we have the creature Daughter, kind of like Mother. It has 2 power, and it has elusive. And then during your draw card step, refill your hand to 1 additional card. So now let's break it down by the types that we have. This deck has 18 creatures, 11 actions, 5 artifacts, and 2 upgrades. 11 of the cards will give you amber when you play them. On a logos turn, you could have some fun with this. You can go and either use the Twin Bolt Emission, which will deal 2 damage, and then you can use the Anomaly Exploiter to go and destroy a damaged creature. You can also, if you don't have access to that, you could use Quant and then cast either Mug or Pestering Blow or Zap or Hit and Run, and then that'll damage the creature, and then you can use the Anomaly Exploiter to destroy the creature. Or if you're really desperate, you could use a Spike Trap and then use the anomaly exploiter directly as well. That will also damage your creatures. This one's another fun combo that's in here. Involves Bad Penny, A Vinda, and J Vinda. You could use, or just have Bad Penny out with either A Vinda or J Vinda. But basically on your turn, if the layout's like this, you can go and reap with Bad Penny, and then that'll go and give you 1 amber. Or I guess you could also attack with Bad Penny to deal 1 damage somewhere. And then Bad Penny will go back to your hand if you didn't, if you attacked instead of reaped. So you'd play it back out, and then you can go and reap with A Vinda, getting another amber, and you'll deal 1 damage to a creature. So you deal it to Bad Penny, and then if this damage destroys the creature, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. So if you don't have any 1-power creatures or anybody you can kill on the enemy side, you can just take out Bad Penny instead, and then they'll have to discard one of their cards. Likewise, with J Vinda, we can just go and reap with J Vinda, deal 1 damage to a creature. If there's no target on the enemy side, we target Bad Penny, and then if this damage destroys that creature, which it would, you'll steal 1 amber. And then you can put Bad Penny out, and you'll be ready for the next turn where you have all 3 creatures back out again. So that's just a nice combo right there. This deck also has 4 creatures with Taunt, so if you set it up right, you got a pretty good battle line going there. They all have power 5. Titan Guardian has 1 additional armor, and the Lieutenant Kirkers have Hazardous 3, which means any time they're getting attacked, they're going to be dealing 3 damage before they even get touched. And then if you put out the Arms Master Melina here, then you can also you can add Hazardous 3 to the Titan Guardian as well, while protecting Arms Master Melina. There's also a few cards that'll let you cheat on your houses. You got the Scientific Hack, which will let you use all your artifacts on any turn that's not Logos. As most of them were Logos, it makes sense to use it like on a Star Alliance or a Shadows turn. So I think the only other artifact that was in this deck had an Omni ability, and it was underneath Shadows, so that's what the Scientific Hack would be for. We also have, on a Logos turn, you can reap with Quant and then play 1 non-Logos action card this turn. Comm Officer Kirby gives you the ability on a Play Fight Reap to play a non-Star Alliance artifact, upgrade, or action card this turn. And then Commander Chan also lets you go and use another friendly creature on its Fight Reap. So if you had Commander Chan out in Quant on a Star Alliance turn, you'd be able to actually use Quant's ability to play a Shadows card, for example, or another Logos card, another action card this turn. So that's a pretty nice combo there, especially when you consider all the blockers that we have with Taunt. That'll come in pretty handy. And we can also protect our creatures in addition to Taunt by either warding them using the Hologramophone, or we can put the Cloaking Dongle on one of our creatures, and it gives it and its neighbors elusive. Overall, I think this deck is pretty good. Doesn't really have any ways of getting rid of a bunch of creatures at once, and it does rely heavily on the creatures that are there. So that would be its weakness, would be board wipes. So that seems to be a pretty good weakness in a lot of decks. You'll be able to get a lot of creatures out on the board, hopefully, and then you'll be able to deal with the creatures that are out there on your opponent's side. I'm going to be pretty interested to play this deck and see what other strategies I can come up with it. But overall, I think it's going to be a good deck to play with.